Should Formula One finally be worried about Formula E? And what the fuck is Formula E? Let me explain.
For those unfamiliar, Formula E is one of the FIA's top racing championships, and it has been running for 12 years, albeit with mixed success. It pits all-electric open-wheel cars against each other, predominantly on tight street circuits in cities, including London, Berlin, and most recently, Tokyo, which I attended, in races called e-Prix. While it only draws a fraction of the crowd and media coverage F1 does, crucially, who Formula E has appealed to are big-name car brands, eager to promote their electric vehicles in what is increasingly becoming an important part of the new car sales contest. The current Formula E field consists of factory teams from Porsche, Cupra, Nissan, Mahindra, DS, Citroën, and my host for the weekend in Japan, Jaguar. The British brand is in the midst of its controversial reinvention as an all-electric rival to the likes of Bentley and Rolls-Royce, but it has also been a long-time Formula E participant, dating all the way back to the 2016-17 season. Jaguar Racing invited me to get a first-hand look at the world of Formula E in Tokyo, which actually marked my third visit to the series after witnessing a race in Berlin in 2018 and another in Hong Kong in 2019. Now that means I've been able to witness the evolution of the series, and it has been quite a large one because, to be perfectly honest with you, the first generation of cars were pretty underwhelming. They only offered 150 kilowatts of power, which is as much as you get in a Hyundai Kona electric. The Gen 2 cars bump that up to 250 kilowatts, and the latest Gen 3 cars make up to 350 kilowatts. One thing that Formula E has never lacked, though, is great driving talent. While F1 may claim to have the best 22 drivers in the world, I'll let you decide if you believe that or not, there are simply more than 22 very talented racing car drivers in the world, and with factory-backed racing seats, Formula E has managed to attract plenty of very fast drivers, including former F1 aces like Felipe Massa, Jean-Eric Vergne, Sebastian Buemi, and Nick de Vries, as well as others like Jaguar Racing duo Mitch Evans and Antonio Felix da Costa, who didn't get a chance to show their wares in Formula One. Now, da Costa is a Formula E veteran with more than 150 starts, 14 wins, and it was the 2019-2020 series champion. But he's also raced in the World Endurance Championship and was once a Red Bull F1 test driver, which means he knows all about the differences between those major categories. So he's well placed to comment on how Formula E and Formula One differ.
We have a lot less grip and downforce than a Formula One car, but our power has been increasing. So the cars are in fact getting harder to drive, and then we tend to race at places like this in Tokyo, and I think when you see the cars out on track tonight, it's just bumpy, tight. We don't have a lot of grip, we don't have a lot of downforce, but we have a lot of horsepower. So it's a very difficult car to dominate, but I don't think the perception of what we have in the car and what's shown to the people is fair. Or we don't pass that message well enough. And I think part of that is like F1 cars, for example, with all the downforce that they have, and they are very clever in things like, simple things like, because they have a lot of downforce and with speed the car kind of squats down, and then they put specific little metal aluminium plates on the cars to make them spark. So they understand the show and what the fan at home in the couch, what can we give those guys to make it look like these guys are rock stars driving the car. So to be fair with you, we are starting to look into stuff like that, and we understand that perception and how it's perceived to the guy in the couch, how important that is.
Now, Formula E organisers have always been very careful not to make any direct comparisons to Formula One, knowing that they would come off second best in any contest of speed or spectator interest. So they've always taken advantage of the control chassis formula to ensure that the Formula E cars look radically different, so a direct comparison is difficult. But Gen 4 changes that. The cars are bigger and more powerful than ever before, boasting up to 600 kilowatts, with permanent all-wheel drive and more downforce than ever before. Now, there are plenty of people in the sport who believe that these cars are not only too fast for the tight and technical street circuits, but are confident that they can now give Formula One something to worry about in terms of pure speed on any racetrack, especially this latest generation of hybrid Formula One cars. And Felix da Costa is one of them.
I think the Gen 4 will be a massive step in that direction. The car, the look and feel of the car, I'm not a fan of the look and feel of Gen 3. The Gen 3 Evo has been a step forward and we're getting now used to it. But when it came out, I thought the Gen 2 car was a very good looking car. Yes, it lacked power, it lacked a lot of things. In terms of what's under the hood in the Gen 3 is amazing already. Like we're regenerating on the 2 axles, we have 4-wheel drive. There's a lot of power. The technology in this car there's more technology here than a Formula 1 car or a World Endurance car.
In Australia, it only has a small die-hard following, but Formula E is starting to increase its ambitions along with the rise of electric car sales, including here. Formula E CEO Jeff Dodds told me in Tokyo that the sport has already held some negotiations with multiple potential local race venues for a possible Australian e-Prix. What do you think? Should Formula E try its luck in Australia? And where should they race? A street circuit in Sydney? Maybe Sydney Motorsport Park? Phillip Island? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. For now, personally, I'll be watching next season and its new Gen 4 cars with curiosity to see how they really do stack up against current day F1 cars in terms of both pure speed and the entertainment factor.